Let's talk about the gochar of Ketu in the nakshatra of Magha. It's Ketu and it's transiting into Magha. So all of you want to know that why is that important for us. Generally we talk about the Rashi gochar, but today I am talking about the gochar in a particular nakshatra. Because Magha Nakshatra and Ketu together, this gochar tells us that if we take responsibility and focused responsibility at that for the actions that we are doing, and that will depend from lagna to lagna, because the bhavas will change for every lagna. So which is the area where you have to be responsible, you have to be accountable, you have to be seriously involved so that you can do your duties properly, and as a result you will find yourself being blessed to move to a different level altogether with relation to that bhava. Now, let us explain why I said this, and then we'll go on to the relationship with every lagna. I said this categorically for one reason, because Ketu is all about focus, Ketu is all about spirituality, Ketu is all about ability to do things properly, in the sense that Ketu, wherever it sits or wherever it transits through, gives us an ability to pull out things from our past lives where we have had certain accomplishments in that particular area. So we are accomplished, it's just that we are unaware about it. We have certain expertise in that area and we need to diligently work out and pull it out from that sphere. When we talk about Magha Nakshatra is the nakshatra of the Pitris, or rather the deities of that nakshatra is the Pitris. The Pitris are our ancestors, our forefathers, ancestors in all. It can be my grandmother, it can be my grandfather, it can be my maternal grandfather, maternal grandmother, from lineage in both the directions, in up to 3, ranging to my great grandfather, okay, or grandmother in that case. Now they are our guardians, they bless us, they protect us, they guide us, but for that they require the love, respect, remembrance from our path. And I'll give you a couple of remedies at the end, so stay till the end. And now when I say that the Ketu when it transits into the Magha Nakshatra, our Pitris want us to be very focused, dedicated in that sphere of life in which the bhava falls for us, as we do it lagna wise, and work towards that area in a diligent manner without expectations, with the ability to sacrifice yourself. And you will see that you will rise up in life, because you would have to sacrifice certain things to move to a second level. Now let's begin with the Mesh Rashi or the Aries Lagna. For the Aries Lagna, this Ketu falls in your 5th house, and the 5th house refers to your sadhana, your charity, it refers to your children, to your elders, and it also refers to big money. Whenever you show responsibility towards this, you are responsible for your children, it doesn't matter what their age is, you help them, you guide them so that they are better human beings. You're responsible for your elders, for your parents, for your grandparents. When you help them, because they may not be in a state to help themselves, when you show them the way, when you work with them with respect, when you show love and care and concern for them, you will see that things, their blessings, their happiness will change a lot of things in your life. When you're diligent towards your sadhana, not infrequent, being very prompt about it, you will see that it will flower, it will give you a lot of results, and it will give you during this period itself. And you will see a change in your name and fame. You will see a change in your monetary status also, because the 5th house, being one of the Trikonas, it gives you name and fame. It also brings in great money for you. Let's move on for the Taurus Lagna. For the Taurus Lagna person, this is the 4th house. The 4th house is the house of masses. It is also the house of your mother. It is also the house of your comfort and peace. When you revere people like the mother and motherland, because in Sanskrit we have a saying, Mata Matri Bhumishcha Swargadapi Gariyasi. That means the mother and the motherland should be revered more than the heavens. When you revere these people, when you revere mother-like people, be it your grandmother, be it the elder ladies in the family, you will see that it brings in prosperity for you. For these people, it also connects. When you work for the masses unconditionally, seriously, and you work with a dedication, with a focus for the masses, you will see that this will bring you name and fame, and it will put you on a pedestal, that your bank balance will increase. When you buy a house and you are responsible, that is, you don't leave things unawares, you don't mess up that area, that area looks good, beautiful, you will see the house in itself will bless you. You would need to make a dedicated effort in that area of the 4th house for you. Let's talk about the Gemini Lagna. For the Gemini Lagna people, it's the 3rd house that you see. The 3rd house is the house of our siblings, it is the house of our brothers, sisters, and it is also the house of our friends. It is the subconscious mind, and it is also the art within us. It is an endeavor that we make, or a try, it is an effort that we make. You know, many a times we make efforts which are half-hearted. We say, okay, we will do it, but what happens is we are not putting in our heart and soul into it. Any effort that you make, if you put your heart and soul into it, if you remember your elders, you ask them for a direction and you go, you work like a donkey, honestly speaking, or you focus like an eagle and get the work done. You are responsible for your brothers and sisters, you show them the way, and when it comes to friends, you know how to repay in friendship. You will see that all of it at the end of the term, when Ketu gives you good result, you will be astonished as to what Ketu is capable of bringing for you when Ketu moves through the Magha Nakshatra. Let's talk about the Cancer Lagna. For the Cancer Lagna, Ketu is transiting through our 2nd house in the nakshatra of Magha, and Magha is big, and 2nd house is all about family. So when you take care of your family members, the elders in the family, when you take care about the monetary issues in the family very dedicatedly, when you take care of what you are learning, what you are studying as a student properly, you are diligent in your work, you listen to what the elders have to say, you will see that there is a change. Avaran is also something that you find in the 2nd house. That is the recognition that you get from society, recognition that you get from many people. So when you are doing things diligently for your family members, for the elders around you, when you are studying diligently, you will see that you will get recognition for it. And since the 2nd house is also the house of wealth, you will also find wealth of happiness and wealth of, say, monetary wealth there from the 2nd house when Ketu is transiting through the Magha Nakshatra. As Ketu completes its transit from the Magha Nakshatra, it is definitely going to deposit that wealth in that 2nd house for you. But that's going to be very dedicated approach that you need to follow. Let's talk about the sign of Leo Lagna. Honestly, this Leo Lagna here, it is Ketu on the Lagna, it is Ketu through the Magha Nakshatra, and it's very carefully telling you that when you take responsibility for your actions, many times when we do things, we say that this is something I didn't think about. Well, whatever that you're doing, you have to think about things. You have to think, how is it going to impact you and others around you? That is very important. When you are able to do that, when you're able to make an impact, you will see that it will give you great results. You will move on to a higher level when you learn to love yourself also, because then you are bestowing certain time for yourself also. That also will give you great results. But just be aware that don't become a narcissistic person, don't be all about yourself. Learn to do things for others also if you want to reach on a higher platform. So when you take responsibility for your actions and you do things unconditionally, you will find that you are able to move on to a new platform. And I would suggest do things for the society also, because and for your health also, because the Lagna represents the health, and Ketu here also is pointing towards being physically fit. So if you are physically fit, if you are working hard, you will see that you move to a different level of activity also. Now let's talk about the Kanya Lagna or the Virgo Lagna. For the Virgo Lagna people, you see Ketu is there in your 12th house. Ketu in the 12th house, and it will meet with Jupiter when it would be in Gandhant during the month of November. That's a very beautiful thing, because that is the time you will see a lot of fructification coming up. The 12th house is all about isolation. Ketu gives you isolation also, but the 12th house is also about sadhana. 12th house is also about connecting with the divine. It is also about past lives. So when you connect with the divine, when you understand that there is a past life connect which you can explore, which you can work on seriously, and when you also look into the sadhana deeply and not infrequently, when you are serious, when you are dedicated about that sadhana, you will see that during the time when Ketu and Jupiter conjoin in the sign of Leo in Magha Nakshatra, it is going to be a great period for you where you will get very strong results. So watch out for that period, and to make that period fruitful, you will have to start working from now. So start working, start your sadhana, start your connect right from now, so that the divine blesses you during that period. Let's move on to the Libra Lagna. For the Libra Lagna, it's happening in your 11th house. The 11th house is your association. Ketu gives you a small amount, but it does give you. When you responsibly make associations that give you a kind of stature, that have a moral compass, and it's likely that you're going to make associations with people who are of your kind, or who have the same value system as you do, because Ketu gives you a set of direction, and Magha is all about the value system. So you're likely to make association with such people. And as the 11th house also talks about our regular income, the investments we make, Ketu directs you into making investments responsibly, so that you can get the right kind of return. You are capable of doing that. All that you need is a certain understanding and a certain direction, which you can always ask your elders, your deceased elders, to show you the way for. And the 11th house is also about some, getting one up, or should I say that it is also about getting promotion. So if you are doing your work diligently, if you are being nice to your co-workers, if you are being good in your circle, if you are responsible, you help others, you will see that that promotion that you have been waiting for so long will come naturally. Let's talk about the Scorpio Lagna. For the Scorpio Lagna, Ketu here is in the 10th house, and it is in the Magha Nakshatra. The 10th house, as we know, is our workplace. As Uttar Kalamrit says, it is about our ability to do great things. And Ketu in the Magha Nakshatra is definitely giving you an opportunity to do great things without a lot of expectation, but with dedication, with a lot of responsibility, with promptness, with timeliness, with a need, with an expectation to help others, so that they benefit, so that a lot of others benefit, people you're working with. You will see that emotion, that dedication, that help that you move forward to with others, that in itself will bring you a lot of name and fame, and that will put you on a different pedestal altogether. Now let's talk about the Sagittarius Lagna. For the Sagittarius Lagna, how does it help us? This Ketu, it's in the 9th house. See, Ketu and 9th house, Ketu and 8th house have a great relationship. Why? Because Ketu is all about knowledge. Ketu is all about spirituality. Ketu is all about dedication. It is all about elders, and so is the 9th house. 9th house is all about our Ishta Devata or the Devi. It is all about our gurus. It is all about the true knowledge that we are seeking, and it's definitely the Paravidya. It's not the regular knowledge that is found in the books, but the wisdom that comes with learning and understanding. So this Ketu, if you are working dedicatedly, if you are working seriously, if you are working in a focused manner, if you are giving that respect to the elders around you who have led you to this path, you will see that this Ketu, when it is transiting through the Magha Nakshatra, is capable of bestowing those results. Yes, it will make you deep digger, it will make you work harder because it's a malefic. Malefics are supposed to make you work harder, but if you work hard, the results will be astounding too. Let's talk about the Capricorn Lagna. For the Capricorn Lagna people, it's Ketu in the 8th house. As I said earlier, Ketu in the 8th house is good because it helps you to delve deep into introspection, into meditation, into sadhana, into understanding of things that was never in the open. And that Ketu, like the snake which moves deep into the ground and is able to find the water channels to keep itself cool, you will be able to dig deep, understand what helps you in life and move forward with it. But for that, it cannot be sporadic. This learning has to be dedicated. This learning has to be deep. This learning has to be consistent, and this learning has to be applied at the end of the day. If you are able to do that, you will be able to earn money from other sources also. Again, 8th house is also about unearned money, and that unearned money can come when you are dedicated to the work you are doing. Also, that unearned money in terms of inheritance can come when you are respectful towards your elders too. Let's move on to the Aquarius Lagna. For the Aquarius Lagna, it's about Ketu in the 7th house in Magha Nakshatra. The 7th house is already a platform. The 7th house is your social standing. The 7th house is your partner. The 7th house is a direction in life. It's about taking up a business, which is all possible. But again, the keynote is about sacrifice. How much are you willing to do things for others? Go the long way. How much are you willing to sacrifice for others? How much are you consistently going to deliver? If you are able to do that, this Ketu takes you on another platform on a social level where you can rub shoulders with the high-end mighty, the famous. Let's talk about the Lagna of Pisces. For the Pisces Lagna people, Ketu is transiting through your 6th house. The 6th house is a house of Rogripurin, but it is also the house of your efforts, your endeavors, and being the house Upchaya Bhava, it is also the house of your growth. So if you move beyond the Rogripurin, if you are able to see growth in difficult circumstances, if you are willing to work hard with the masses, if you are willing to do social service, you will see that growth will come. It may have a lot of frictions. You may need to make a lot of sacrifices. You may need to work extra. You may need to work hard way, because Ketu, again being a malefic, may make you work the hard way. You may have to think about every penny that you have collected and every penny that you are spending, but you will see that you will go the right way and you will be helped by others. Talking about helping by others, for all Lagnas, there is a remedial measure, not just one, many remedial measures that I'm going to tell you. What do our ancestors need? They need respect, they need love, they need remembering, they need just small water, that is, we do the Pitri Tarpan. If you are able to do the Pitri Tarpan, you will see they are remembered. And the Shrad that we do for them, the Dan that we give on Amavasya, there are so many of these things that we can do for our elders. Doing a couple of them, simpler ones also, will appease them and they would be bound to show you the direction. So this transit of Ketu through the Magha Nakshatra can be fruitful for you if you are consistent in your efforts, if you make these sacrifices, and also if you are able to do even a couple of remedial measures, you will see that it will give us great results. Till we meet with you again, stay safe.
Please hit the bell icon for fresh updates. Don't forget to like, share and comment on the videos, and please subscribe to our channel.